Good morning, trader. Welcome to the Forex Outlook of this week, where we take a look at the US dollar major pairs. First of all, though, be aware that this video is shown to a global audience but may not be suitable for everyone. Please visit admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country of residence, and contact an appropriate entity for more details on that. Also, please be aware that trading for exchange and global financial markets is considered high risk. Please seek the advice of an independent financial advisor for more information on that. This webinar is for informational and educational purposes only. By continuing watching this video, you agree with this disclaimer and you are aware of the risk involved when trading. Alright, let's kick the webinar off here, or the video, with the Euro-Dollar weekly chart. And we see last week was a doji. There's just a few days left here before the end of November, and then we can take a look at the monthly candles to see how bullish or bearish price action is looking. For the moment, though, we're working with these weekly candles, and you can see a doji at support. If we zoom out a bit, you can see these bottoms right in here. That is a key level. I've been talking about that for a while. 105, 104.50. I expected a bounce, and if price, would have managed to break through it, then of course we could have seen the downtrend continuation. We saw strong momentum here in the past. We're seeing a big triangle correction, so I do expect that price will break through the support. But for the moment, it's bouncing. And that is what I also expected. A bounce here at support to retrace this downside, and then a turnaround at one of these fibs for that downtrend continuation. The main fibs I'm keeping an eye on are the 38.50 and the 61.8. Any of these three, I think, could be the turning spot. The 61.8 has an extra layer of resistance because of the 110 psychological round level. So I'm expecting price to retrace up to these levels and then turn around, something in like this fashion here, with ups and downs like this, and then boom, the turn with a fall. So I'm expecting a corrective zone at this moment, price kind of hitting these resistance fibs, making a bit of retracement to the downside, then making a move up to the next fib, retracement, move to the next fib, like this, before I would expect a bigger momentum to occur. The daily chart, you can see already the price making that upside. On the 4-hour chart, basically this was the massive trend. It was about almost, I would say, 800 pips indeed. So what I'm expecting is price to stop, for instance, make a pause at the R3, 23.6 fib, perhaps make a bull flag. If it does make a bull flag and price breaks that flag, that could be a good breakout. It's counter trend, but still that could be an interesting reversal breakout to the next fib. Now, if I would be wrong, basically what I would keep an eye on is how price responds at resistance. If there's really a strong momentum, and then there's some kind of bear flag, I might be a bit cautious with a bigger retracement. It could still happen. There could be some ABC zigzag and a double bottom, for instance. So if there is strong bearish momentum, I would be cautious and with upside, and I might actually look for some downside still. But ultimately, be careful of this bottom. If that doesn't break, if the 104.50 holds, it could still be about another bouncing spot for a bigger correction to the upside. All right, so that's my view. For the moment, I'm not interested in going long. It's too close to what I consider the main resistance. But as it hits that resistance and then makes a pattern, a triangle, a bull flag, and then breaks, I think it's interesting. And I'll be looking for shorts up in here and shorts below this 104.50 layer. Support layer, and if it's behaving somewhere in this zone, I'm going to look at momentum and correction to see which move is more likely. All right, more on the euro dollar tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, live trading room webinars on these dates here, 29th, 30th November. Then it takes a look at the euro dollar and more on his usual weekly recap Monday. Together, we take a look at the impact of the Italian referendum on the Forex and financial markets. That's Thursday. And then it takes a look at range bar trading on Wednesday. So I hope to see you in one of these webinars soon. All right, let's move on to the pound USD 4-hour chart. Price stopping right at the 61.8 fib. I've had this fib on for quite a while, and that's because I think that this is momentum. And that's why I'm putting this fib on, because I think there could be a turning spot at these fibs. And there could be one more momentum to the downside. That could be actually, in my expectation, a pretty strong momentum. And that could be a big fall once price breaks through the support trend line. So let's see if that happens. But I do have expect some big push there. So now at the moment, I think that's why I have this fib on, because I think this could be a corrective correction like this. and the price is indeed stopping at the 61.8 fib. But I don't know which particular fib will be the turning spot. It could be even higher. It could be the 78 or 88.6 fib. But ultimately, it should not push above this top. Otherwise, that bigger downside correction is invalidated. All right, so will price stop at this fib, or will it still make one more push up to these higher fibs before turning around? That's what I'm keeping an eye on at the moment, and also on this trend line. So I'm keeping an eye on the trend line, potential break to the downside, or a turn at these fibs. All right, so zooming into the hourly chart, right here, I can take a look if price is going to stop at the 61.8 fib. What I'll be looking at, I can see already some momentum. What I'll be looking for is how much momentum we get, and if there's a bear flag, then I think that could be a good start for downside like this. Ultimately, if price turns around pretty quick with some bullish candles and shows a bull flag, then in that case, I think there will be a bigger chance of a push to the upside after the bull flag break to the 78.6 fib. All right, looking at the dollar yen, it really is pushing hard at 112.50. I thought would be some bounce, but it just pushed above it and really showing a lot of bullish momentum. And I think that this is a typical wave 3 kind of momentum push. So what I consider this here, when I look at this retracement or this bearish momentum here, then I think that will be a retracement. All right, this is a very strong push. I'm expecting kind of a corrective pattern here, a bull flag perhaps, some kind of triangle. I'm expecting price not to retrace all too deeply. If I would put a fib from here to here, what I would expect price not to go too deep, maybe max the 38.2 fib or the 23.6 fib. I would expect there to be a bounce and a turnaround for continued push up to the next target, the minus 272 target. So that's my outlook at the moment, bullish, but there could be some retracement at this moment as price basically makes a correction. That's what I'm expecting. How long this correction could last? Well, it's wave 4, so it might take some time. It could be the entire week. So as price basically bounces at this fib or even here and retest this top, there could be a push lower to these fibs like this before price could make a sustainable move up. Now, when would I consider myself wrong? I think a break above this top is a first clue that perhaps the retracement is not going to be as bearish and as deep, or as long, I should say. There's maybe not going to be that bull flag on this 4-hour chart as I expect if price breaks above this top. So that could be, of course, it depends on how the candles hold that top. Looking at the bigger context, you can see basically with the dollar yen that price is really showing a lot of strength here after that break, as expected, bouncing at the 50 fib, gaining a lot of momentum. If I'm thinking contrarian, I would put a fib from here to here, and if there is any bearishness to be expected, then it would be at these fibs. And price stopped at the 23.6 fib, blasted through the 38, kind of pushed through the 50. So the next important level is the 61.8 fib at 115.50, 115 also round level. So if price makes the bull flag as I expect, then breaks that bull flag, that will be the target because that could be a resistance level to be aware of. Last but not least, the AUD USD got a break on the weekly chart, good strong weekly candle, but price is showing some bullish momentum at this moment. Is that a retracement for more downside, or is this a false break? That question remains to be seen. Now, monthly candle is going to be finished soon, so I'm going to take a look at how this closes. If it's a doji, then it does not look like a strong break. If it's something like a bearish close near the S2 here, then that looks a bit better as a bearish break. Weekly candle was pretty good, so this upside could easily be a retracement of the break. And I'm going to be interested in seeing how price responds here at the 61.8 target at the R3. There's also a resistance zone in here, so that could be, I think that could be an interesting zone to look for a turnaround. But will that turnaround be a strong turnaround, or will there be basically a triangle, or would there be some kind of correction? Then there could be a bigger breakout for more upside on the AUD USD as well. So all in all, I am basically bullish on the dollar, but at this moment, looking at the euro dollar, there could be some upside correction. Looking at the dollar yen, there could be some sideways correction. Looking at the AUD USD, that remains to be seen. Is this a zigzag, or is this going to be an expanded correction? That could be possible too on the AUD USD. And the pound USD is corrective generally. All right. So yes, dollar could make some weakness potentially, but ultimately though, after this correction, I do expect the dollar to continue with its strength. All right, thanks for joining this video. I hope to see you in the webinars. Check out admiralmarkets.com for more information, analysis, webinars, and information on the MetaTrader 4 Supreme Edition with 100+ features. And you can contact, of course, Admiral Markets through these methods. Wish you all great trading and talk to you soon. Cheers.